Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, the Pope's got Black Roots agenda. A little white lie. But then you ask, what about reparations conversations for Black slavery? It's quietness on that. And then other topics, deflections, then. Today is May the 18th, 2025. And I just wanted to do a short show on this as a timepiece purpose. Because again, that when I even saw numbers of these little warpness and this little slick fox type of various parts of Maine medianess and however other people and some black skinned people, not necessarily Black American people, the ones applies to that slide under the Black banner, right? But they make sure when it's convenient for them to go back, I'm not Black, I am this tribe. I'm not Black, I'm this particular island, Maine island of the Caribbean. I'm not Black, I'm this tribe from certain parts of Africa. You know, the ones who do stuff like that. And there's some coons as well and stuff like that within American Blackism who would kind of just parakeet some of the same things. But collectively, millions of American Blacks wasn't falling for that because they know it's an insult to sit there and listen to talking about, oh my goodness, the Pope, right? The new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th. Now, the first American Pope out of 260 some previous popes, right? No, darn well, he does not have Black roots, or should we say Black American roots. Oh, I don't want to talk about that. So let me just go ahead and get to a particular articles and some couple of videos I want to show because it's actually kind of an insult on this situation. But let me just get to this particular point. I'm gonna show you some videos and I want you to, and some pictures, and just keep the thought pattern in mind that does this look like Black American roots? Now, again, we know some people can pass and we're not going to play that tactic on this show on this one. We're talking about how various parts of Maine medianess, etc., some other entities and some other that wants to play little tactics. He got Black roots, but you ask the question, which Black roots? You see how this game goes. So let's go ahead and show this particular first. Let me just read this. Let me phrase this. Let me just read a few. Let me get okay. Let me get this right here. Okay, let me make this right. Can we see that? All right. CC Pope Leo the 14th family tree shows Black roots in New Orleans, and the question is, when Pope Leo the 14th, well, before he became that, right? Before he became that, and he was Robert Francis Prevost, that was born around 1955. That it did almost for about 20 something years almost in Peru. That got naturalized citizenship in Peru, right? Where is that old conversation? Was he talking about that he was Black, had Black roots in these last 20 something years before he became Pope? Of course not, right? You said this game goes, right? And it's a little disgusting agenda going on as well. But let's go ahead and read this. Pope, Robert Francis Prevost, the Chicago-born man who became Pope Leo the 14th, about a couple of weeks ago, has black family roots in New Orleans, Louisiana. Records show. And it interesting that now we would have had a conversation about black now. In Louisiana, and we know how darn well how they look at Louisiana, just like they try to look at Chicago and Detroit and say, "Oh my goodness, crying written," as if there's no Anglo Caucasian people in those places as well, right? But now all of a sudden, oh my goodness, he has some background roots in Louisiana. Where is that old conversation, right? You said, wait a minute, did Robert Francis Prevost jump up and down talk about Hurricane Katrina? That was in Louisiana, huh? Did your conversation about him talking about that? Of course not, right? But now, he got to have black roots now. See, a little disgusting tactic people keep trying to do. So he talks about how this entity has obtained several records, including U.S. Census records from the early 1900s, demonstrating that the first American post-family tree reflects the complex racial history of this country. It ain't that freaking complex. Racial racism, terrorism, generations of black pain to American blacks that no other culture and background can compare to, and then handle reparations. It ain't that complex. These little games they keep trying to play. It's not a complex racial history. It is a destructive racial history, racial racism, terrorists toward black Americans. And unfortunately, they know millions of American blacks. Let's let people sit there and just insult American blacks and try to minimize American black pain. So he talks about how both of Leo the 14th's maternal grandparents, here's a little trickery, Joseph Martinez and Louis Bequeath, whatever it is, are described as black or mulatto in several census documents. Where's all this conversation about him before this? Second of all, they said the maternal grandparents, right? Which means the mother side, means his mother's grandparents. Joseph Martinez and Louis Bequeath are described as black, as if in those particular time frame, if they had a skin of black, as if they can hide in somewhere else, unless they were damn near white. You see this little game playing. And even that kind of depends. On their 1887 marriage license, Martinez listed his birthplace as what? Haiti. Let's read this again. On their 1887 maternal license, Martinez listed his birthplace as Haiti. Former Hispaniola. One side Haiti, other side Dominican Republic. Martinez is not a black American name, and there are variables. We know that, but they said themselves Martinez was listed as being birthplace as Haiti. That's not black American. He has black roots. You see how this game goes, right? And birth records show that he was born in Santo Domingo, right? Santo Domingo being the other part, Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic's on one side of Hispaniola, other side is Haiti. So all this other stuff, I'm not going to talk about all that. Despite Martinez being born abroad, his father, the Pope's great grandfather, was found to be in Louisiana. Emphasize the Pope's ancestry to America. So what in the hell that got to do anything? As if, by the way, he didn't say he was black American. Watch the piece of shit, disgusting tactics that was just relayed there. They didn't say his great grandfather was black American, right? Watch the stupid ass tactics on this. And it's disgusting because unfortunately, millions of American blacks not catching on to this. With very few exception. It's an insult because it's like they stupid bleep talking about people of color and communities of color. What the hell does that mean? Minority. What the hell does that mean? Anglo women are considered minority. What the hell does that mean, right? People of color could be all kinds of different people. Communities of color can be all kinds of different kind of people. You see, there's this silly ass damn taxes to keep playing on millions of American blacks. And it's disgusting. It's an insult to the American black ancestors as well. You see right here what it says. It's clear that the Pope has centuries long ties to free people of color in Louisiana. What in the hell that got to do any damn thing? You see this bullshit commentary this person made. Peoples of color. Again, what is that supposed to mean? See the game on that. On the 1990 census, while his family lived in New Orleans, both Leo the 14th's maternal, here's the point, maternal grandparents and his aunts Irma and Margaret were identified as black. However, in 1920, after the family migrated to Chicago and had the Pope's mother, Mildred, that decades since it reflected race as white. And I'm gonna show you a picture on something as well, a couple of different pictures. This little disgusting tactic. All of a sudden now, oh, he has black roots. So we're just gonna forget about all these other different areas. What about his great-great-great-grandmother, great-great-great-grandfather? Huh? Or his mother and father, by the way. I'm gonna show you his pictures, right? And even when they sit there, I'm gonna stop right here on this part. So the thing about it is, this part that was just, it's disgusting tactic. Even though they said Martinez, the both of Leo's 14th, both of Leo the 14th's maternal grandparents, Joseph Martinez, that's not black American, and Louis bequeath something or described as black, they would have had to pick black to a certain point, depending, right, on that part. They certainly weren't going to let them pick black, especially in the American South, right? Now, keep this in mind. Oh, hold on, let me go back. Let me see. Before I get to this particular point, while John Prevost knew about his, while John, excuse me, I'm going right now on that one. Hold on. So they talk about, another post brother. I don't go know. So the point I'm making is that you see they talking about the maternal grandparents, right? Joseph Martinez and Louis Bequet are described as black in several census documents. Even though talking about the 1887 marriage license, Martinez listed his birthplace as Haiti. That's not black American, right? And then he talked, and so both of them were not black Americans. Now keep that in mind about the maternal grandparents, because as I'm reading this other particular article, and I'm following behind here, so let me hurry up. This other article, Pope Leo the 14th family has been cheering him as he reaches major milestone moments. Cardinal Robert Prevost, now known as Pope Leo, was born to Louise Marius Prevost and Mildred Martinez in September 1955. Now, keep that in mind when I play this. I'm gonna show this little picture in a second here, because remember, he got black roots. Now he's become the 267th Pope. Oh, well, where is the trueness of black American? Oh, by the way, are there not black American Catholics? Of course it is. How is it that they can't make sure it's a black American? It's like, like an Obama effect, right? Obama's mother, the Caucasian American, right? Regular American white. His daddy was from Kenya, right? Not black American. Who's the first black? He's the first black president. And yes, it was understandable how that was at the first 4 years. And then after that, the last 4 years, more black Americans, the ones that catch on to the game, said, wait a minute, what has he done for specifically black Americans? Nope. But he did DACA, Deferred Action of Child Arrivals. That's helping border breaking illegal immigrant personnel and use their kids as pawns, right? And some other games with that. And also an Obama administration that also did what? Single sex, single sex marriages. But no reparation for blacks. You see how this game goes, but he's the first black. president. You see how it goes. Now the Pope, oh my goodness, Pope Leo XIV, he has black roots. You see how this little disgusting game goes. So as I'm sitting there saying that, he said for John, Leo's hope is becoming the 267th Pope. Again, there's Black American Catholics. Where's the regular Black American? Okay, they biracial, that's fine too. But the lineage is what it comes down to it. Just like the popes. The popes, Leo 14 does not have lineage, Black American lineage going back to 1800s. So that means they try to dilute down with just saying generically Black roots. You said it's game goal, right? Because as I'm reading this particular article, it talks about how this particular magazine said they report that Leo has Creole roots. They're all white Creoles. Creole, this mixture of can be English, Spanish, French, African, etc. And again, there are some white Creole people. But you said this game goes, they want to try to associate with just saying Creole, will just act like that means a certain type of Black only. Right? Oh, Bob, I'm going to show this picture in a second for a second. So in this particular other article, they talk about how one of the brothers, John, told this particular well-known newspaper in 2025 that their paternal, see, the other one was talking about the maternal grandparents, right? Playing little communities of color, people of color switchery, right? Even though the father was from Haiti, not Black American. The mother was not Black American. I mean, the maternal grandparents were not Black Americans, right? But they want to play switchery, right? Black roots, but he's from Haiti. And the mother surely wasn't Black American. See this little game going, right? Because they didn't ever say the mother's Black American, or the maternal grandparents, the mother part on the maternal grandparents part was Black Americans, because they know it wasn't. So on this one, they used to talk about the paternal side, right? The paternal side in this article of the grandparents said that they were from France. You see the game, John, one of the brothers, told this particular, again, well-known magazine, social media, particular people, well-known people, entity, in 2025 that their paternal grandparents were from France. You see this game with his father born in the United States. You see this game again, right? What that's supposed to mean? Nothing, right? So I just want to just kind of set that direction up on that. So let me close this out. Give me 1 second. Let me close this this little game out here that's been played here. So let me go back here. But remember, he has Black roots, right? For what I read, right? He had Black roots. Wrong. He's not Black American. He doesn't have lineage base a Black American. But you see, they keep trying to play these little games, right? With this little picture right here. See this little game they keep playing, right? They're not saying he's Black American. So you see this little tactics they keep doing. But here's my thing about it. I'm trying to move a little bit faster on this. Now watch this. Rosa, the greatness of Rosa Parks. People who know and people who don't know. For people who don't know, Rosa Parks was a great civil rights icon, especially in those 50s. She is the icon related to the Montgomery boycottness in around that 1955, 1956 time frame, when she was just trying to sit on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955. And she was just sitting in close to the front sections. And this little racial racist terrorist bus driver was saying, hey, you can't do that. You got to go sit in the back. And by the way, where's all those people talking about, oh, it's the past, slavery, oh, it's the past. What about those? That's Jim Crow. That's less than 100 years ago. For those little silly ass people who try to play that little tactic. See, they don't tell that shit to nobody else but American Black. They don't tell it to non-circle Jewish people. Forget about what that old bad Hitler did. And by the way, Hitler was in the 1940s, early part of 1930s. So Rosa Parks was in the freaking 50s. That was after the bad Hitler man, what he's supposed to deal with those nuns. Anyway, to what they are told, or what is told, what the Jewish people had to go through, certain numbers of Jewish people had to go through by that bad Hitler man, right? Way up there in Germany and Poland, all of certain other places in Europe. 1955, Rosa Parks, that's after World War II. Where's all them same damn people talking, minimize that won't minimize the Jewish situation, what the Hitler man did to some of them people? Where's all them same damn people telling them, hey, stop talking about the past? Where's them same silly ass people what ain't telling we call the Native American people, wink wink, so stop talking about the past? Huh? Where's all them damn people at? Huh? Silly ass people who talk about the little gang, who know they are. And they know it's not enough American blacks who are checkmating this bull. And people keep minimizing stuff for American blacks. It's almost, they act like as if American blacks that just showed up in America just recently. It's an insultingness. So anyway, Rosa Parks, does she look like she's black? Does she look like she's black? She looks like she's mixed because she has a mixture. But you know what? The way they treated her when she was on that bus in 1955, Montgomery, Alabama, they didn't look at her as, well, you may have some white in you. You may have some what we call Native Indian in you. And we're going to look at that part first. They saw her as Negro. They didn't see, they saw black in her. Not possible, kind of, sort of. Like they're trying to play this game with the Pope Leo the 14th, little silly tactics, right? Watch it. They quiet on this, just like this right here. Look at this great Rosa Parks again. When she was being booked in jail around 1956, I think it was. Around that time frame. For doing what? Being violent? Cause all kind of terrorism stuff? No, because she did not want to sit in the back of the freaking bus. Right? This is less than 100 years ago. This is 2025 now. The Montgomery boycott situation, Alabama situation with Rosa Parks, that was 1955 when this happened. Rosa Parks. 2025 to 100 years prior. Today is May 18th, 2025. 100 years before this is 1925. Rosa Parks, what happened to Rosa Parks is in 1955. So that wasn't a long time ago. Jim Crow segregation was going on toward American blacks left and right. Now you got people doing immigratingness more. People doing border break illegal immigrant numbers are more. People talking about Ukrainian situations more. We gonna be pro-Palestinians more. Oh no, we got to do, we got the Israel situation more. Oh, but you said, where's all this conversation about American blacks? Huh? Anyway, sorry. So Rosa Parks, look at her. Does she look like she's black? No, she looks like she is mixed with various types of things within her genetics. But when you know these racial racism terrorists, certain bad seeds ones, right? They looked at her as Negro. Did they do with Pope Leo the 14th? Do you think all these years people looking at him as Negro? Looking at him and say, oh, you got black roots? No, right? Look at that picture. Does he look like he got black roots? Some people look at that and say, damn, he may look like he got some Indian from India in him. Right? But you see this game that keep playing, right? Again, you ask the question, what about, okay, so now the Pope Leo the 14th, he's supposed to be had the black roots, right? Is he going to talk about reparations? All these other people that want to have this little agenda about trying to bring up these little slick games about Pope Leo the 14th having black roots. Are they going to talk about reparations now? Hell no. Let me tell you what they're going to do.
Exit station left.
That's what they're gonna do, right? What are they gonna do? Let's hear what they're gonna do.
Exit station left.
See that little game to keep playing, right? He got black roots. He got black roots. Rosa Parks. Does she know she got black roots too? And look how she was treated. Try to find a conversation about uh, uh, Robert Francis Prevost, who was a cardinal before he was selected in the conclave of being now the new pope. Go ahead and find out the racial racism, terrorism that he had been experiencing. Of course not, because under the system of supremacy, which is the most awesome mental manipulation force that's ever existed, he would be considered white. You said this game, they keep going, right? But let me go ahead and start moving a little faster now. So I set this direction up. Let me cancel this. I want to share this screen. All right, now keep this in mind, this picture, right? Oh my goodness, black roots. Oh, but then again, they're not talking about black American, right? And even again, I don't go into all that. So I'll set the direction up already. So now let's see here for a second. Let's just start getting to it a little bit faster now. So let's just go look at some here. Look at the parents. Now this is, oh, hold on, let me make sure this is showing correctly. Okay, it looks like right. Now look at this. Robert Francis Prevost, Pope Leo XIV, was born September 14, 1955. That picture I showed you was what? A couple of Rosa Parks, a couple of ones I showed you. Rosa Parks. 1955, Rosa Parks of the Montgomery bus in Alabama, right? Going through hell of just trying to sit on the damn bus. That was 1955 too. So the Pope, Robert Francis Prevost, who now is the Pope Leo XIV, was just being born. You saw how these games go. So he was September 14th, 1955. He was born at Mercy Hospital, Chicago. His mother, Mildred Agnes Martinez Prevost. June 18th, Prevost, I don't go into all that, was a native of Chicago. I don't go into all that. But the whole point I'm making is that look at his parents. Pope Leo XIV's parents. Do they look like they got black roots? The left side, his dad looks like he can be Hispanic or white Hispanic in some kind of way. Might can be some Frenchness in there, some English in there. Look at his mother. His mother looks like she can be Spanish. Oh, and by the way, oh shuck, I was gonna show something too, but I should talk a little bit. If I forget, probably, maybe not. But look at her mom. And by the way, his mom. I was looking at the article, and it was talking about that she had Spanish descent, not black roots. They said she had Spanish descent in this article I was reading about too. You said his game goal, right? That's the parents. His parents, Robert Francis Prevost, parents, who is now Pope Leo XIV. This is his parents. See, Pope Leo XIV's parents, Louis Marius Prevost and Mildred Martinez. But they're going to try to play this little slick ass, disgusting ass tactic. Oh, black roots and maternal this and maternal that. But when I sit there and read you also before, when they saying one of the maternal grandparent side and one of the maternal paternal sides, one side was the maternal, one of those sides of the grandparent side, where he came from, Haiti. That's not black American, right? And on the other side of one of the grandparents, they were talking about they came from France. So they want to jump up and down talking about that part of the Haiti part. Oh, that's black bull crap. That's an insult. It's an insult to numbers of the good Haitian type personnel out there. The ones that are not coonish and the ones that don't have anti-American blackness as well. right? Because it's like they're trying to minimize this the Black American side, right? So okay, let's get that out. Let me stop sharing that one. So let me I want to then show you something else too. Let me show this. Let me sit there and share this other picture. Hold on. Give me a second here. I think this is it. Now, right here. Look at this look on the right. Oh, let me make sure you can see that. Look at this right here's picture. Robert Francis Prevost, now Pope Leo XIV on the left, right here. Robert Francis Prevost, that is now Pope Leo XIV, as a young boy with his mother, Mildred Prevost, or Mildred Martinez. Does she look like she got some Black roots in her? Does she look like she would be looked at as possible Black roots in her? Of course not. And it's interesting. They make sure, this system makes sure not to show the dad of Robert Francis Prevost. They make sure really not to show him because they know the gig is up to try to play that little Black roots part on that as well. Again, I just showed you a picture previously that his father did not look like himself, got some freaking Black roots in him. And this was all about on your outside appearances. Some people are able to slide through and then other people are not. Right? Mildred Martinez, his mother, that's a Spanish name or Portuguese name. She looks white. And that's what she would be able to pick, white. And that's what she picked, white. Later on, when they was moving. Or she picked eventually white, put like that. See this little game to keep playing, right? So let me close that picture down. Let me keep moving. I'm moving now. So let me go. Let me show another one. Let me show something else here. Oh, hold on. This right here. This part here. Robert Francis Prevost's life before he became the first pope or the first pope from the U.S. Right? Leo XIV. Does he look like Black roots? No, he almost looked like he's from India. Or from some may look a little Italian in there. May look a little English in there, depending what part. You get the point, right? Oh, but he got Black roots. Right. He would not be looked at if he got Black roots. Where's that like he got Black roots conversation these last 20 years? Of course not. Was all the conversation when he became cardinal a couple of years ago? He became cardinal within the Catholic Church. What about when he was a priest all these years? What about when he was in Peru all these years, which he got naturalized citizenship years ago? He got dual citizenship as obviously being a U.S. citizen, born in U.S., and then became a naturalized citizen of Peru. Look at him now. Look at this. Robert Francis Prevost. Does he look like he has Black roots? Huh? But you see this little damn game to keep playing. Do you think he'd be considered a Black man in any damn way? Not even half a ass way. But you see this game, he'd be, oh my goodness, he got Black roots. Look at this picture. Oh, hold on. Undated pic. Hold on. Yeah. For a second. Undated picture of Robert Prevost, now Pope Leo XIV, with late former Pope John Paul II. Does he look like on the right side? which is known as now Pope Leo XIV, does he look like he has black roots? You see these little disgusting tactics. I'm telling you, it's almost like, oh, won't they talk about, oh my goodness, have you noticed that they don't sit there, they don't play up, oh my goodness, he has French roots or whatever other mix in his background. You notice that they don't make sure not to play up that at all. He got black roots, not even black American roots on top of that. And certainly black roots, he's talking about do not go back to no 18 freaking hundreds under black American lineage at all. So he's not black man. But you see, a black American man, shall we say. But you see this little game to keep playing, right? Look on the left side. Who is now Pope Leo XIV? Does he look on the left side? Does he look like he got black roots, black American roots specifically? Of course not. They can say he looks like from India or some other countries. Does he look like he has some Haitian in him? Some Haitian background roots in him? Of course not. You see this little disgusting freaking game they keep these various parts of main media and all the people keep trying to play. How about this picture? Pope Francis elevates to Cardinal U.S. Prefect. We're not going to all that. For Bishop Robert Francis Prevost during a ceremony to create 21 new cardinals in St. Peter's Square in Vatican on September 30, 2023. Does he look like he got some black roots? When he was Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, does he, on the right side, does he look like he got black roots? He would look like a typical, regular Caucasian person or a sectionality of Caucasianness. This is what he would look like. That is what he would be described as. That is what he would put under the category of race in America. White, not black. You say, show in the census of any damn census who is now Pope Leo XIV, where he selected black. End of story. Because that's not going to happen. See the game? Again, another picture. Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost posted after he'd been elevated to the rank of Cardinal at the Vatican September 3rd, 2023. Does he look like Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost? Does he look like he is black American? Because of course he's not. Does he look like he is Haitian? Since one of his grandparents' side, on one of his mother or father grandparents' side, the father was Haitian. Does he look like he got Haitian in him? Right? Because one of those sides, they said one of those either maternal grandparents' side or the maternal grandparents' side or the paternal grandparents' side. One of was talking about that one of his brothers, John, said that they were from France. So one of the people play up, he got French in him. No, but he got Creole. What the hell is that supposed to mean? There's white Creole people. You see a disgusting game. Again, they try to dilute down black Americanness. And many American blacks ain't catching a game on this. Again, left side. Does he look like, hold on. Kind of perfect. On the left side, Cardinal Prevost. Hold on, the Cardinal? Future Cardinal. Does he look like, on the left side, Robert Francis Prevost, does he look like he is black roots? Does he look like he's got Haitian roots? No. How about this picture? U.S. Prefect of the Dicastery Summit for Bishops, Robert Francis Prevost, walks after being elevated to Cardinal, doing a consistory to create 21 new cardinals at the St. Peter's Square in the Vatican on September 3rd, 2023. Does he look like he has hold on, I'll make sure this thing. Does he look like he has black Haitian roots? Of course not. He looks like he looks like somebody from yeah, anyway, he looked like he got some India background. I keep saying that. Again, just regular Anglo-American, right? And again, that's the question, showing documents, showing correspondence where now who is the Pope? Now the Catholic Church. Where when he before that he was Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, and before that he was a priest and doing his whatever different kind of priest work and different other things, show any kind of correspondence where he was talking about he is black. He's considered black. You see these disgusting tactics going on various parts of the main media and some other people playing these little disgusting tactics, right? Again, Robert Francis Prevost celebrates Mass for Our Lady of Guadalupe and St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican City on December 12, 2024. Does he look like, again, he got black roots, more specifically black American roots, lineage based to the 1800s? Of course not. He would look like a regular Anglo-American. And certain other instances, they lucky he has some Indian from India. You see this game they keep trying to play, trying to run this little scam game, trying to make some, because that dilutes down if they know that more American blacks gonna allow this silly ass tactic to keep playing, right? And that's what they want. Instead of more American blacks saying, go to me, I don't go somewhere with this damn tactic. He is not black. He's not black American. And he would not have chosen black American, let alone black, on a census form. He would be considered Anglo, white. Topic is finished. See this again. See this game. See, Pope Francis shakes hands with Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost during a mass for the Jubilee of the Armed Forces at St. Peter's Square in the Vatican, February 9, 2025. On the left side, he looked right. Hold on. Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, left side before he became Pope Leo XIV. Does he look on the left side? Does he look like, again, that he has black roots? Does he look he has Haitian roots? Does he look like he has Creole roots? You see this game they keep playing. Because again, they're all white Creoles. But of course, they ain't say that. They're not saying, oh, the Pope, he has French roots in him. Yay. He has whatever other roots in him. Yay. Nope, they won't play this little game about black roots. So let me stop this right here. That's enough of that. See, you see this little game they keep playing, right? And it is a disgusting tactic they keep playing on that. So let me go ahead. This is what I want to start really getting into the topic now on this. So let me go ahead and play this particular video from the greatness of Dr. John Henry Clarke, because remember the question I asked says now he's supposed to have black roots and stuff like that, and he's supposed to be able to connect and understand black folks and this slavery and stuff like this now, because he's the leader, he's the pontiff of the gigantically top two most religional subscribers, should we say, most religional parishioners on the planet, religialityness, Catholic Church, under, that's the section now within Christianity, right, is one of the top two religions on this planet, right? Are they going to talk about now Catholicism and trying to get reparations for the Catholicism sectionality related to slavery? Are they going to sit there and say, hey, Pope Leo XIV, is he going to start talking about reparations finally for blacks? Huh? You see how this game goes, right? So let's listen to the greatness of Dr. John Henry Clarke. The greatness. Black American, right? You see the title. Let me make sure. Let's see that here. Dr. John Henry Clarke, Catholic Church began our enslavement. But they don't want to talk about that part. You see how the disgusting tactics go. Well, he got black roots. What about reparations? You see how it goes. So let's go ahead and play Dr. John Henry Clark. And you see again what he said, that Dr. John Henry Clark, Catholic Church began our enslavement. But again, you ask the question, since now Pope Leo the 14th has became Pope, is he going to now talk about reparations? Right? And they know the answer to that already.
Had the African understood the nature of the European mind, he would have known automatically that man was going to enslave him. But he didn't know that. So unsuspecting, tragically innocent. But the European mind was being prepared to enslave the African. The aftermath of the crusade. 1455, Spain and Portugal goes to the Pope. The fight between the Africans and the Arabs in Spain had weakened the hold on Spain. One half of Spain is out from under the domination. Spain and Portugal, under African domination, began to have aspirations of its own. Portugal had freed itself from the domination in 1240. Now Spain is partly free of this domination. They go to the Pope, then the major arbitrator of disputes in Europe, and the Pope would tell them, you take the East, you take the West, you two good Catholic nations, stop fighting among yourselves. You take the East, you take the West, you two good Catholic nations, stop fighting among yourselves. Then he would say, but a whole lot of people wish he never said, because they want to deny it, and although it's so well documented. A whole lot of people wish he never said, because they want to deny it, and although it's so well documented, they can't deny it. You are both authorized to reduce to servitude all infidel people. Reduce to servitude. You are both authorized to reduce to servitude all infidel people.
Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, they don't want to talk about that. Yes, that's right. What's that, Spock? They don't want to talk about that. Ain't that right, Spock? They don't want to talk about that. Yes, right? They don't want to talk about the contributions relating to the certain situations of Catholicism in that particular time frame, on the contributions to slavery, according to people like Dr. John Henry Clark and numbers of many others. It's almost like beyond logicness. The people who know that know, the people who don't know. Now, again, you're going to have some people that's going to be denial mode. That's just the way it goes, right? But again, you better not sit there and deny. You better not sit there and deny something relating to the one Holocaustness that was happening by the bad man Hitler, right? He's the poster boy of badness. What he did to those poor numbers of Jewish people, you know, he did it to Roma people and numbers of other prisoners of war and some other people. They don't care about all that. As long as you make sure it said, don't you dare minimize the 6 million Jewish people that, you know, suffered at the concentration camps in Germany and other different places. You better not minimize that. You see how that goes on that. You better minimize that. They be like reparations. Even though you be like, how about some of these young people that weren't even damn born? Now numbers of them adults How many of them getting reparations for something that didn't happen to them directly? What about somebody who's like 2 or 3 years old, 10 years old then? That all this damn time from the 40s up to 2025. And ain't that many still surviving, but how many of them still getting reparations? Why? They were not told to get over the past. And how parts of Germany, other people, how they take those kids to however places, right? Poland, etc., to visit those concentration camps, right? Those, as far as the museums now, Auschwitz, Birkenau, and Poland, and how other places, they take those kids to those places. They don't sit there and say, oh my goodness, that's in the past. That's woke. But something is so sinister, and certain ones, people within certain parts of America, within certain parts of Angloism, that have this KKK mentality, the one applies to, that if you talk about slavery, that's then. And the nerve of some people who have the skin of black, who know they are, not black Americans, the ones applies to, because there's some good ones out there who are still down for black Americans to understand, for without black Americans, many numbers of people that have the skin of black wouldn't be in this country of America. And then you got these border break illegal immigrants and numbers of immigrating personnel who know they ass are, who ran as fast as possible away from their own country for people that look like them, right? That they couldn't sit there and get that stuff situated in that person's own original country, right? They didn't sit there and tell those other people, hey man, y'all stop being corrupting. Y'all stop doing this. Y'all stop doing that. Tired people. Nope. Talking about the ones supplies to, the ones that have a nerve to talk down about American blacks. And you got other people that fleeing those countries. But American blacks talk about slavery, the ones supplies to, because who knows better that you don't sit there and forget about one of the most treacherous, inhuman treatment to black Americans ever in America. Because you say Native Americans, you don't go to hell with that game on that. Which tribe? Which places? Not all Native American people was on the Trail of Tears in 1820s, 1830s. Where are you talking about? How about those $5 Indians, white $5 Indians who put themselves on one of those rolls, those Indian rolls, to sit there and get all this damn reparations? You don't get the hell out of here with that damn game. That stupid ass game can succeed some people who don't know their tactics. See, you got people out there that they want to minimize black nativeness, right? They know who they are. They minimize black nativeness, right? As if there's no such thing as black natives, even though it's been correspondingly done back in the early 1900s that black natives have been put within the box of black, generically black. But they don't sit there and talk about numbers of white Native American Indians. Huh? They don't talk about that. See how that game goes, right? Because there's a gold mine for numbers of white Native American ones to continue with the game. But if you say something about black natives, oh, there's no such thing as them anymore. You got numbers of black natives saying, we may not be a lot. What are you talking about, man? We're still around. What are you talking about? We don't have that many of us, but we are still around. But that's a whole different topic. But you see this game on this. You see what the great Dr. John Henry Clark was talking about, right? Portuguese and Spain fighting against each other. He said, hey, hold on, because they want to sit how numbers of ones, want to figure out how to do some conquering, the ones supplies to, and however person at that time, however popeness. Hey, don't y'all argue. You are now open to sit there and basically enslave and people that are, anyway, to enslave numbers of people and do your thing. So again, the question is, what about reparations now? Will the Pope Leo XIV talk about reparations? Right? Let's continue on that. See, you saw this little game tactics going, and they don't want people to know the games on this. Right? So let me go ahead and play this part. I'm just gonna play just a few minutes of this. Oh, They hide this. The untold road from Catholic church and slavery. The untold road from Catholic church and slavery. They don't want to talk about this. But they want to say, oh, the Pope Leo 14 got black roots. But yes, the question, are they going to sit there and make wholeness or make some kind of restorative justice related to slavery, black slavery? Huh? Let's go ahead and play.
In history, everything was written, and we know it, but there are some chapters missing today. We will uncover the untold role from Catholic churches in slavery. The Catholic Church's involvement in slavery is a hidden and complex facet of its historical legacy. While the Church has long been a symbol of spirituality, moral guidance, and solace, beneath its serene facade lies a troubling history intertwined with the painful institution of slavery. This involvement extended from the endorsement of papal bulls, permitting the enslavement of non-Christians, to the complicity of some clergy members who benefited from and supported the practice. Slavery, especially the transatlantic slave trade, left an indelible mark on both Africa and the global landscape. This brutal chapter in history, spanning over 4 centuries, had far-reaching consequences that still resonate today. For Africa, the transatlantic slave trade was nothing short of catastrophic. It resulted in the forced abduction and transportation of an estimated 12 to 15 million Africans across the treacherous Atlantic Ocean. Families were torn apart, communities decimated, and untold suffering inflicted upon those who endured the harrowing Middle Passage. The continent witnessed a hemorrhage of its human resources, losing millions of its most able-bodied citizens, leading to social disruption, economic destabilization, and lasting scars on its cultural fabric. Beyond the grandiose architecture and soothing hymns lies a dark reality where economic interests, biblical misinterpretations, and fear of societal upheaval converge. The Church's complicity in one of humanity's gravest injustices raises questions about the collision between faith and exploitation. Interpretations and fear of societal upheaval converge. The Church's complicity in one of humanity's gravest injustices raises questions about the collision between faith and exploitation. Stay tuned as we uncover the layers of this enigmatic narrative, shedding light on the forces that led religious institutions to a moral crossroads. It's a story that challenges our understanding of religious ethics and the intricate dance between religion and power. The impact on the world was equally profound. Slavery became the economic backbone of European colonial powers, particularly in the Americas, and dance between religion and power. The impact on the world was equally profound. Slavery became the economic backbone of European colonial powers, particularly in the Americas and the Caribbean. Enslaved Africans were viewed as a ready-made labor force.
First of all, to get something situated, you also Black Americans over centuries that became Black Americans and stuff like that, not Africans at one particular time for the moment in different little parts, right? But Black Americans became their own unique culture, not because they were people were Africans on plantations, right? Over and over again. No, what became Black Americans on those plantations for generations, right? And it's funny because you got people out there who just want to tell Black Americans, you just say African. You saying, what was Africa's word before Africa? And Africa is made up of thousands of other languages and however other many tribes and things like this, right? Or thousands of other tribes and however numbers of other languages, etc. And sub languages and sub tribes under tribes, right? And one part of East Africanness may not like numbers of West African personnel. Numbers of West African personnel may not like certain parts of East Africa, or East Africa may not like parts of West Africa. Just repeat myself on that. Or numbers of ones from certain parts of North Africa don't like certain people from certain parts of South Africa, right? And numbers of South Africa, whatever tribes, are not feeling someone's from East Africa. You get the point. Or West Africa, or other North Africa, with however hundreds and thousands of tribes, thousands of languages, hundreds of languages, right? But Black Americans are told you just supposed to say Africa. When you got numbers of African personnel, we're like, what are you talking about, man? We got our own cultures, own vibes, own traditions. We don't intermarry or intermingle with numbers of other African tribes. What are you talking about? Right? But you said this game goes, right? Because again, when certain people, they get into their damn emotions, not get into reality, because there are numbers of other Africans who don't even like to be called Africans. There are numbers of other Africans who act westernized, like they damn sure in Americanized thinking. Americanized angle in this thing, the ones who supplies to. How many of the numbers of African personnel bleach their damn skin? How many of the personnel for certain parts of the Caribbean bleach their freaking skin? But you get the point I'm getting at, right? But again, some people are just told American blacks, you just don't like Africa. What are you talking about? When numbers of black Americans, especially in the dang 90s, apartheid would go over there and help out numbers of personnel of South Africa. What are you talking about? But then when they say, where's all these different various types of African personnel one applies to in present day, not jumping up and down about telling the U.S. that y'all need to sit there and y'all demand that y'all give reparations, with earned reparations to black Americans. You see this? You see how that goes? Quietness. Well, I'll tell you, the game is wild.
Exploited to extract valuable resources like sugar, tobacco, cotton, and more. This exploitation fueled the growth of empires, the accumulation of immense wealth, and the development of the plantation, tobacco, cotton, and more. This exploitation fueled the growth of empires, the accumulation of immense wealth, and the development of the plantation system. Furthermore, the legacy of racial discrimination, rooted in the slave trade, continues to shape attitudes, social structures, and systemic injustices in societies worldwide. During the era of colonial expansion and the transatlantic slave trade, European powers including Spain, Portugal, England, France, and the Netherlands viewed enslaved Africans as a vital source of cheap labor. Particular powers including Spain, Portugal, England, France, and the Netherlands viewed enslaved Africans as a vital source of cheap labor, particularly for their burgeoning plantations and resource-intensive mines. The European powers established vast overseas colonies, primarily in the Americas and the Caribbean, where they aimed to exploit the vast natural resources and establish profitable agricultural enterprises. To achieve this, they needed a labor force that was both abundant and cost-effective.
Those are black Americans in that picture, not Africans. And again, what does an African person look like? Africa is over 50 plus freaking countries, or recognized countries. Again, hundreds and thousands of other tribes, hundreds of thousands of languages, right? These are black Americans on these plantations, especially when you start getting to the 1800s, when slavery was supposed to be abolished. So regardless, they became black Americans, their own uniqueness, right? And numbers of black Americans better stop allowing people to say just to put them in some generic category and just saying, telling, hey, you just say African. You be like, whoa. Africa's made up of 50 freaking countries, right? American blacks built this country. It wasn't African personnel that built America. It was black Americans that built this country over generations, right? And there are numbers of good African personnel, a sectionality of African person who know they are, who sit there and they know the truth. And numbers of them credit the ones who given the truth, who know the truth, who ain't falling for this nonsense of genericality. They say, well, no. We are of that tribe, but we may be considered African, but we are of this tribe or that tribe. Credit given to the ones who ain't playing the little other tactics, who know they are. Because you look at Egypt, who's sitting there controlling Egypt? Those pyramids, who was built by black Egyptians, right? Not what we call Jewish people. That makes no damn sense because their skin would have been roasted. How can they build a freaking pyramids and their skin had been roasted? Huh? Oh, they go to Ramsey. Oh my God, look what he did to the Jewish people. How the freak can they be when you had the first Jewish person that's supposed to be Abraham? Well, pyramids were already being built before Abraham was even born. So who built the pyramids then? How can the pyramids be built by what you call Jewish personnel, right? When the first Jewish personnel was supposed to be Abraham, right? When the pyramids the pyramids had already been built before Abraham was even born, before Moses was even born, right? So how can Moses, who's supposed to be wink, wink, Jewish, right? What that's supposed to mean, because there are numbers of people, that means you practice Judaism faith, right? So what does a Jewish person look like? But that's a whole different tactic in itself, right? Because Jewish is not about a race. People that don't understand the game, they understand the game of situation, it's not a race, but the same during time, somebody says, oh, that person's mother is Jewish. What does that mean? Because that's supposed to be a religional faith. So how can you be Jewish and that's not a race, but at the same time, it's not a race, but at the same time, somebody said their mom or dad is Jewish. What does that damn mean? Right? You see how this tactic goes. But you know, people saying, oh, that person's mother is Christian, or that father's a Christian. They don't say, oh, the father is Black American, the father's Black American, and the mother is Christian. The mother is Buddhist, but the father is Black American. Do you see how this game keeps going? Right? That's like, again, Black Americans help build America, not some genericality of just saying Africa. Because which tribe? It's 50, which tribalism, which tribes? Out of hundreds of thousands of tribes, which ones you talking about? It wasn't all the tribes. Huh? But again, they just say generically African. And then supremacist Slavs. And then it's an insult to the numbers of various other tribes in Africa there are certain type of iconic looking certain ones of African tribes. I'd be like, whoa, wait a minute. No. We are this tribe first. We ain't gonna do that genericality, just call us African first. No. We ain't gonna do that. We're on the African continent, but we are this people first. But anyway, you see the point I'm getting at on this part. Let me stop this right here. So you see this game that continues to be played on this. But again, the venue you saw, are they gonna sit there and say, hey, Pope Leo 14, are they gonna ask Pope, you are the supreme leader of the Catholic Church now? Is he gonna sit there and talk about reparations? Right? So, because he has supposed to have Black roots, and you say, where is the conversation, the correspondence that prior to him becoming Pope, right? The 14th, right? And it's 2025. Prior to this and these decades when he was in Peru and doing his priesthood stuff and became cardinal and all this other stuff, where is it that he would call himself black roots and stuff like that? Would he be considered Black, or would he be considered Caucasian or white? You see how this game goes? You don't hear anything about the Pope Francis Cardinal Robert Francis the Prevost before he became Pope Leo XIV calling himself Black. Let me say this again. You don't hear no correspondence about Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, and before he became Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, when he was doing his saying Augustinian priesthood and other type of teaching, right? And before he became the Pope Leo XIV of the Catholic Church, you don't hear anything about the Pope Leo XIV talking about how he was Black. But you got people now trying to play this game. He got Black roots. He got Creole. Creole is a mixture. Does he look like he is Creole? Does it look like, he got some Black roots? What Creole is a mixture. It can be a mixture of French and English, right? Some African, depending situations, right? But French and English are some of the main ones on that. It can be mixed in with some whatever other part of it. That's what makes they call it Creole gifts. But the point I'm making is that there are white Creole people. You said this game goes. And again, when they keep talking about, one of his grandparents, paternal side or the maternal side, they were had some Black roots, but they never talking about what you talking about, fool. He didn't have Black American roots. So we're not gonna play this little tactic and let people try to play that he's got Black roots. And it's not Black American roots. He does not have Black American roots, and certainly lineage back to the 1800s. See this game. So this game goes, right? So one of the last videos I think I want to show is from this gentleman, Tariq Radio. A few minutes of utilizing for fair usage doctrine, Well, he also is understood, and some people may disagree on certain things about what he do, especially utilizing the N word. Some people may not like that, but again, that and there needs to be a conversation too, because the N word that needs to be destroyed, right? You got people that are mad about other people utilizing the N word, but that word is still using numbers of bad rap. Still, you got other different cultures utilizing that little treacherous N word. You got other places across the oceans. You got numbers of kids, numbers of adults utilizing N word, and then the question should be to numbers of American blacks, the ones that are not asking these questions to people in the states or wherever else. Why does that person use the N word? That's all the question you got to ask to that little Hispanic kid, the little Mexican kid, or this little other Hispanic kid, or this certain section of certain Asian ones, the ones who do use the word, the ones who do that. Whoever, list goes on and on. The number of little kids, the adults, Anglo American adults, the ones who use that the destructive word. Why do you use that word? And me don't be like the old deer with the headlamp. I don't know. You don't know the hell you're using that destructive ass N word, and you don't know. I heard it. You so damn naive that you lies one of the most disturbing words ever on this planet, right? To a people, right? And especially to Black Americans. Let me phrase this: one of the most destructive words that has ever been created, the N word usage ever. And you gonna say, I don't know why I'm using it. I don't want to say that the black folks using it. So you could certain numbers of black folks within Americanism have a sickness to use that word, right? Without really thinking about they should not be using that word, right? Because you better not use certain type of slang words toward other people in other cultures, because they ain't gonna let you do it. Plain and simple. So, but Tariq is one of the very Tariq Nasheed, Tariq Radio is one of the very few people that will battle some of these little tethers, some of these other people that got some nerve to try to look down upon American blacks, but flee their own countries. He's one of the very few amount of Black Americans that put some of these people in check and stuff like that. So, and this is another game he saw through, and hopefully some other Black Americans and some other people will also have, however, check this out, and some people haven't. But I want to include this as a timepiece purpose as well.
Have y'all noticed with this new pope? Notice they keep trying to make this dude black. Have y'all noticed that with this new pope? And this is coming from the Democrats. They keep trying to push the narrative that this new pope, Pope Leo, he's the first quote unquote American pope. They keep trying to push that, well, he's black. They keep trying to push that narrative. And the Democrats are really, really trying to push it. And Roland, I saw a clip of Roland, and they were really trying to push this whole thing. Roland and Greg Carr, they kind of threw my name in the mix, and they started kind of taking shots at the Foundation of Black American Family. Like Roland was like, listen, the new pope, I saw his last name, and that I knew that last name, because my people from New Orleans and Texas, and I said, he Creole, oh, he's a brother. So yeah, okay. So them old dumbass FBAs, they don't even know how genealogy work. They don't even know, they don't understand lineage. How everybody tied up, them dumb, stupid fool FBAs. And he like my family. They some of them come from Haiti. Stock passe. Okay. So, oh goodness gracious. They just really trying to push he's a brother. Listen. Man. Listen. This dude, this Pope, contrary to Roland and those guys. And another thing, Greg Carr was on there co-signing it. He was like, I understand, people, I respect everybody's lineage. I respect FBAs. I ain't talking about the scammers. Shout out Tariq Nasheed. Greg Carr said that. Greg Carr, you a bootleg do boy. Don't project your scamming mindset onto me, Greg Carr. You babbling buffoon. Y'all mad. Y'all keep my name in your damn mouth because I've delegitimized all of you white ass licking bootlicks. Scamming mindset onto me, Greg Carr. You babbling buffoon. Y'all mad. Y'all keep my name in your damn mouth because I've delegitimized all of you white ass licking bootlicks. Your scams of trying to run game on the black community. Your scams of trying to run game on the black community, that don't work no more. We done woke everybody up to y'all little boule ass tricks. So yeah, the scam is what you're trying to run that ain't working no more. Yeah, y'all trying to scam everybody to vote for damn nothing. You're trying to scam everybody into believing that we're all comparable to immigrants. Trying to run that ain't working no more. Yeah, y'all trying to scam everybody to vote for damn nothing. You're trying to scam everybody into believing that we're all comparable to immigrants. And your scam ain't working no more. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at your failed scam, sir. And you sitting up there with Roland's ass, who gets paid by the Democrats to tow water for them. We saw the money he got. Yeah, I'm not a paid bootlick. So yeah, we're different. The scam is sitting up here acting like an objective journalist, and your ass is up here getting a goddamn check on the back end. That's the scam. You ain't objective. You're a damn proxy for a political party that had already papered you up, and you're trying to throw everybody under the bus so you can keep getting your little old bag behind the scenes. That's the damn scam. And ain't nobody going for that shit no more. Greg Carr and Rolly the bowling ball. But yeah, they're up here talking about, oh, he got a little Creole, and then his family's from Haiti, and then we all mix. Listen, that new Pope, Leo, identifies as white, all right? Regardless of any distant ancestry that he has, that dude does not identify as black or Creole now. He identifies as a white man, and that got a little Creole, and then his family's from Haiti, and then we all mix. Listen, that new Pope, Leo, identifies as white, all right? Regardless of any distant ancestry that he has, that dude does not identify as black or Creole now. He identifies as a white man, and that's how society classifies him. That he has, that dude does not identify as black or Creole now. He identifies as a white man, and that's how society classifies him. Most white people, they got some kind of black ancestry somewhere down the line. Let's be very clear. There's a Negro in everybody's family tree. That don't mean nothing. Oh yeah. Yeah, but people have ethnogenesis. Yeah. And the Pope's family, they had an ethnogenesis into whiteness. A lot of the light-skinned Creoles. And the Pope's family, they had an ethnogenesis into whiteness. A lot of the light-skinned Creoles and some of those people in America, yeah, their ancestors started to strategically assimilate and intermarry into white society, and then eventually they were reclassified as white by law and customs. And they shedded all of their little affiliations with blackness generations ago. So yeah, don't pull that shit up now. Yeah, don't pull it up now. They threw that away. They had an ethnogenesis from that. Uh-huh. And yeah, they're being born in Louisiana or having some distant ties to Haiti. That nah, and that doesn't make the people from Louisiana Caribbean. Uh, and here's the thing: many white Haitians, especially after 1804, it was the white Haitians that were fleeing to Louisiana. Because here's the thing: many white Haitians, especially after 1804, it was the white Haitians that were fleeing to Louisiana. And that doesn't make the and here's the thing: many white Haitians, especially after 1804, it was the white Haitians that were fleeing to Louisiana. Because people always talk about a lot of Haitians went to Louisiana. Yeah, white ones. Yeah, when Dessalines was putting foot to ass, yeah, many of them got the hell up out of there. And so it was a lot of the white Haitians going to Louisiana. Yeah. So yeah. The Pope's his heritage is being used by the Democrats to basically use strategic deception to kind of muddy our identity because they know we're having a delineation movement. So them sitting up here trying to claim he's black and then because they know we're having a delineation movement. So them sitting up here trying to claim he's black and then talking about Louisiana and Haiti and all of that stuff, that's a low-key way of them trying to weaken the reparations claim, with them trying to equate our foundational Black American identity with some pan-ethnic immigrant status. That's another form of cultural erasure, family. Our foundational Black American identity with some pan-ethnic immigrant status. That's another form of cultural erasure, family. Watch them when they do that. Watch them. You don't start talking about he black now. Where's his live black experience? Huh? Watch them. You don't start talking about he black now. Where's his live black experience? Huh? See, they're trying to rewrite his background so that can kind of fit an identity agenda that really insults real foundational Black Americans. An identity agenda that they're trying to rewrite his background so that can kind of fit an identity agenda that really insults real foundational Black Americans. Yeah. Yeah, giving some kind of symbolic value on somebody who never claimed the struggle, the history, the burden of foundational Black Americans. He ain't us. The bottom line, he ain't us. He hasn't lived our experiences, nothing. And y'all stop that New Orleans is really the Caribbean. Yeah, y'all gonna stop that nonsense. New Orleans is a foundational Black American stronghold. Yeah, it absorbed some Haitians, some Caribbean refugees years ago. But that is a foundational Black American culture built by foundational Black Americans and free Black Americans who were foundational, and they have a very unique culture that is foundational Black Americans all the way, no immigrants.
Yes, yes. So again, the game is wild. And so in closing, that it is an insulting to the reality thinking of American Blacks, especially in the ancestors, to sit there and be like, for certain people within certain parts of Palombase culture, certain numbers of Anglo-ness, of main medianness, the one this applies to, and there are some coonish, unfortunately, within certain types of Black America, there are some coonish ones, but the majority are not even close to coonishness, but there are ones that are coonishness. There are also ones that the numbers of people that have the skin of Black, who know they are, that do some tethering, who know they are, who, they can kind of hide ain't blending with Black Americanness because they may not necessarily have an accent. The ones who know they are, or their names are not some different kind of wild name. We like, I don't know about that. You know, it's like, who's your mama? Who's your daddy? Right? And you know, who's your grandparents? And by then you'll know already. And he made a point too. It's like, again, the Pope has not, Cardinal became Cardinal, Robert Prevost. You don't hear him talking about before in 20 something years at how he lived a Black existence, or he brought up he has Black roots all over the place, because he understood in Americanism that he is considered white. You look at his brothers. I showed you a picture earlier of his brothers. They look white. And even one of the things I showed earlier, I was reading about when one of his maternal grandparents side, or when I think it was maybe the paternal grandparents side, I think it was, or maybe when they were saying that they came from France. And on the maternal grandparent side, how it talks about how Joseph Martinez came from Haiti. And certainly the maternal grandparent side, the mother part of that part, the maternal grandparent side, the man, the woman, how Louis Paquette, Baque, is certainly not Black American. But so this is a game they keep playing. The Pope is not Black American. And nowhere in any kind of history of his correspondence when he was the Cardinal, Robert Prevost, did he talk about how he had Black roots all over the place and he considered himself Black. The system knows that. And it's an insult again to the American Blacks to sit there and say, wow, well, the maternal grandparents, Joseph Martinez, well, he was from Haiti, or he's Black. I mean, it's a Pope Black. You don't get out of here with that little game, that little con game. And he asked the question, how many personnel was from Haitian early 1800s? Huh? We're not going to play that little tactic. American Blacks built America just as much as anybody else besides certain ones within the Panama-based culture. No one else comes close to American Blacks of building America. And American Blacks better understand that there are some silly, disgusting tactics going on. And it's almost like this system, it's almost like they salivating and slapping the heck out of millions of American Black people's face. And I'm talking about coons and sellouts. To say, we know you Negroes collectively, with very few exceptions, are not going to checkmate this nonsense, and are not going to sit there and checkmate whoever people that got the skin of Black, the one this applies to, the ones that have the audacity to try to look down upon American Blacks and try to then slide in, try to claim Blackness when it's about something that's going to benefit them. But when the heat comes up with Black pain, it's like they step back out. I'm not Black. I'm no Black. This particular tribe within this particular part of certain main areas in Africa they come from are certain ones within certain parts of the Caribbean, the ones it applies to. Because you don't hear a gigantic amount on the eastern side, on the Pacific side, on places like Micronesia and some of the islands that have, some of the ones that have that beautiful afro, and some of the ones that have that beautiful dark skin and other different skin melanation of that. You don't hear a lot of them try to act like that, or try to have audacity to try to look down upon American Blacks, because they understand that makes no sense, because they got their own problems going on, right? Of people trying to degrade them. So I just want to just do this show because it was an insultness, right? To call the Pope Leo XIV, who was before he was Cardinal Robert Prevost, sound like he had Black roots, and then you ask which part. Well, he has some Haitian in him. That's not Black American. Well, this particular parent, grandparent, they from Louisiana. What the hell I got to damn do anything? They're us white Creoles. Stop. Play it again with somebody else. And I sat there and showed you the picture of his dad and his mom. His dad does not look any damn thing like a black American. His mama damn sure didn't look like no black American. I read an article again. I was looking at an article before where it's saying that she may have Spanish descent, because that's also part of white Creoleness, Spanishness, and Frenchness. You see how this game goes, right? And more numbers of American blacks better wake up. Better wake up to these little games. Now, many still will not, and the system knows that. So, very small amount, maybe there'll be a little bit slightly more small amount of American blacks that's going to wake up to the game. I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP Show. And by the way, no other culture is going to allow somebody to sit there and dictate who they damn should think in America. You ain't going to have somebody telling what we call Native Americans, wink, wink, who and how they should act. No one that's going to tell numbers of Hispanic personnel, which is very ass broad, because all that means is that the personnel speak of Spanishness. And there's Afro-Hispanics speak Spanish, right? Just like you ain't going to tell us the numbers of Asian people how they supposed to act. It's like, what that's supposed to mean, because Asia's a continent. You see the little games, right? And there are numbers of Asian people that can't stand other Asians. It's like numbers of other Hispanics who can't stand other Hispanics, right? But again, those conversations not talked about enough. But people ain't gonna sit there and tell them what to do and how to damn do it and who they should believe and not believe, relating to saying, hey, you start talking about the past. But American blacks are told they ain't supposed to forget about the past. Who has had the most inhuman, diabolical, sinister, warpness, demonic treatment of anybody in America over generations, and get no reparations, but are told you supposed to vote for this particular party or political party, and you get nothing, no reparations. But border breakers, illegal immigrants have gotten and still get a certain type of reparations, indirectly or directly. Well, if you don't vote for that section, the other political party don't care about you, but at the same damn time, the other political party is not sitting there doing for black folks. So either one, however, some people say not doing either way. But again, it does show, as some people who know what I'm talking about say, well, that shows you the powerlessness of modern day numbers of American blacks collectively, because no other culture can go through what American blacks are going through and still have no reparations and still be stuck on one particular political party majority of the time. And other people's cultures, who know they are. Oh, they do. They know who they are. They make sure to sit there and stand behind of getting certain type of strategies done. Because the system knows if American blacks said they're tired of acting as if they just showed up a half a generation ago and say, oh, hell no. Voting for that particular party collectively, which has been taken for granted, and no tangibles, but at the same damn time, when you sit there and say, hey, man, these bad seeds that are doing things to black folks, hey, this needs to be, get rid of that immunity stuff. No, you're enforcement. He said, well, just tell that to numbers of black numbers in certain parts of enforcement who've gotten racially terrorized. They won't talk about that. They don't talk about how numbers of other cultures and backgrounds who have shown racial racism, hatred to American blacks, but get no reparations, get no anti-American black hatred bill. But they have a hatred bill, anti-Asian hatred bill for a certain caste system ones who know they are. And numbers of them can't stand one another. What an insult. But the number one people in America who has the most crimes put upon them, the most hate crimes put upon them, is American blacks. And don't get no reparation for that. Don't get any hate crime bill for that. No anti-American black hate crime bill. But the number one victims of hate crimes, the number one victims of of propaganda criminality. The number ones that are told black folks commit the most murder, they commit the most that, but the majority of people commit the most crimes. A person within various parts of economics culture. You see how this goes. And it's almost like scary and embarrassing because modern day, there are millions of American blacks. It's almost like they don't know what to do relating to stop this racial racism terrorism. And that is an embarrassing part. It's brilliant because the American blacks in the 60s and before that, collectively, they weren't tolerating that. And before that, got tired of the nonsense. But after the 1970s, a little slowly, especially after the fragmentation of the black family collectively, right, on purpose. And they made to make it seem like that they gotta sit there and get this sister of chaos, black woman queens, this sinister ploy, what has messed up quite a number of American black women, the ones applies to act like that. I don't need no man, and black male bashing, anti-black male bashing, breaking up families. That's what white feminists do. And then you got numbers of American black women who want to call themselves feminists or black feminists. You see the messed up part. They have messed up American blacks by the millions. But at the same time, mental health problems. Oh my goodness, fentanyl epidemic for going toward numbers of Caucasian personnel. What are we going to do about this fentanyl epidemic? But American blacks getting locked up left and right in those 80s and 90s for some of the ones that utilize a little bit of crack cocaine, some of the ones that utilize a little bit of marijuana. What hurt nobody, but got locked up, many of them. They just sit there and say, oh my goodness, American blacks got the numbers of American blacks who utilize a little marijuana, got the stop doing drugs, got hooked on certain parts, the ones that applies to, got hooked on a little bit of crack cocaine, just stop doing drugs. But when numbers of Anglo personnel get hooked on fentanyl and crack, all these other different drugs, opioids, stuff like that, oh my goodness, we got to help, numbers of people out now. It's got to be, it's a humanity issue. You see this game. They see a little black person, very few amount of black folks that's done kind of criminality. Oh my goodness, Negroes, N-words all over the place. Oh, but it's not, oh, well, those black folks, they're just suffering from mental health issues. No. You said that goes, but numbers of Anglo personnel, the ones applies to, and some other commit all these crimes daily, embezzlement daily, criminality daily, right? And it's like, oh my goodness, get hooked on drugs daily. Oh, it's just mental illness. And unfortunately, they know millions of American blacks don't know the games. Just like on this situation with the Pope, who Cardinal Robert Prevost has not ever said anything about that he was black. And especially, he could be black American because his mama wasn't black American, his daddy wasn't black American, his paternal grandparents weren't black American, his maternal grandparents were black Americans, his great-great-grandparents, paternal weren't black American. But he got black roots because he comes from, because one of the lineage has some Haitian in there. And the other one, anyway, the point is they try to play some Creole tactics, right? As if there's no white Creole. You see the game. I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP show. And the last thing, again, they're not going to ask the Pope, the new Pope, Leo the 14th, what about these reparations? Are they going to do anything about reparations now? And you know the answer, no. But watch what kind of conversations that the new Pope, watch what type of conversations that the new Pope, Leo the 14th, is going to talk about in this time of Popeness. And watch how it's going to be many different other type of topics and discussions. But the conversation about reparations and what is the Catholic Church going to do to make certain, at least certain parts of restorative justice for enslavement of Black folks, and see how quietness it will be. I thank you for tuning in again to the Real CP Show.